Alrighty, welcome to episode 311 of Backpacking America. I want to talk a little bit about my social media cleanse that I've been doing the last couple of days. Actually, really the last 36 hours. So I decided to delete all of the social media accounts that I have on my phone. So I still have my accounts on Instagram, X, YouTube, obviously, because you're viewing these platforms, as well as my personal accounts. I still have those. But I decided to delete the apps from my phone because the screen time I was getting every day was about 6.5 hours of screen time, and it was affecting my mood, my relationships with other people, and it was really affecting my mentality and relation not only with the outside world but with myself. And I also was getting neck pain from being on my phone so much, and I decided enough was enough, and I just deleted all of my social media platforms, their apps. I deleted all my social media apps on my phone, and I did delete my TikTok account completely. I was one strike away from getting banned anyway, and also it's a Chinese communist bot farm. So I figured, you know what, I'll just get rid of it completely. So some of the positives that I've noticed from doing this is I have more of a presence. So I'm more present when I'm around my family, when I'm in public. I don't have many distractions. So it used to be whenever I'd look at my phone, I'd get a million distractions. Like I'd see a million Instagram notifications, or this one sent me a reel and that one sent me a reel. And what that was doing was it was preventing me from actually communicating with people that I care about. So the whole point of social media was to communicate with people that are your friends and your family, and maybe share something funny once in a while. But now it's at the point where it's almost impossible to do that. So I'll hop on Instagram to reply to someone, and I'll scroll for like 10 or 20 reels, and I'll forget what I was doing. So it's really like, that's what I mean when it's affecting my relationships. Like I can't even do the bare minimum of responding to someone on a digital platform because I'm so distracted. And what I noticed from my screen time was that my Instagram time and my time on X was the biggest offender too. It was only about maybe combined an hour or two a day of Instagram and X, which is a lot, don't get me wrong. But it was enough to where I started going on other social media apps to get away from X and Facebook, but because I still was in that rabbit hole of wanting to get stimulated. So I ended up racking up 6.5 hours of screen time. Yesterday, I had 4 hours of screen time. So I'm interested to see today what I have. Now today, as of recording this, I'm going to, excuse me, Jesus. As of recording this today, I am it's 3 p.m. I started my day today at 8 a.m. So I've been moving for like 7 hours. I have an hour and 47 minutes of screen time. And if we go to days, right? If we go to Tuesday, July 22nd, when I had 6 hours of screen time, I met that quota. I wonder if it lets me do like by time. I don't know if it'll let me do it by time, but let's see, I was up at 6. My screen time at 3 p.m. was about 4 hours, 5 hours of screen time. So 4 or 5 hours of screen time this time on Tuesday before I started the cleanse. And I gotta say, I mean, I feel a lot better from Tuesday to today when I did this cleanse. And I got rid of everything today too. Like I had Facebook on my phone until a few hours ago, because Facebook isn't really the biggest offender. It's not really algorithmically designed to keep your eyeballs there. However, you know, you see people post updates of their life, and I'm a sentimental guy. I have a hard time letting go sometimes. So for those of you that understand what I'm talking about, you get it. And when you see certain life updates, like it just kind of makes you think like, damn, like, you know, maybe I missed out on some things, or maybe I should have done things differently. But I deleted it, but you can't change that because hindsight's a bitch. So I was just like, you know what? I don't deserve to feel like that at 1 o'clock on a fucking Thursday. I just need to focus on doing my own thing. So, and I shouldn't feel like shit in the comfort of my own home. So I was like, fuck this, I'm just deleting this, you know, like whatever. I can make myself feel like shit on my own. I don't need a phone to do it. So I just deleted that, and that's like the last social. So this is literally just like a dumb brick. Like the only notifications I got, I still have Facebook Messenger, obviously, but like I got a Messenger notification, a QuickBooks notification from my email, and someone texted me. So, I mean, and that's it. Normally it would be like pages of scrolling. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I still have YouTube on my phone, obviously. I need something to do when I take a shit. But I'm just less agitated ever since I went on this cleanse. I have less anxiety and less feeling down about myself since I've done this. And I continue on doing this. I know this is only really like hour 36 or whatever, but I'd like to give an update in the next week or so and see what's going on. And, you know, I know I haven't really been active on this podcast as much as I should be. And that's because I found out I've been shadow banned on a lot of platforms. So the reason, I don't know why. I mean, I say a lot of edgy shit on here, so that's probably what happened. Social media is not an edgy place unless you're on X, and even then it has its limitations. So censorship is really something, and that's one of the also underlying currents of why I did the cleanse, is because, yes, there is more unrestricted speech on social media platforms than there is in traditional media. But it's becoming censored, and I can't create without being shadow banned, censored. I've been demonetized on Meta platforms for years. I can't even pay them to advertise my show. So I'm trying to figure out a workaround around that, maybe creating a new podcast, Instagram, or, you know, a new Facebook or something. I don't know. But the one thing that I am going to do is we're going to start offloading the websites. We're still going to post on, I'm still going to post on YouTube. I'm still going to post on X, on Instagram, all that stuff. But I'm really going to start putting content on a website soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the content on this website where you can view all the episodes in audio format or in video format. There's going to be a community page where more like, I'd like to make it more interactive, kind of like a Facebook group, but we'll see what's required for that technologically and cost-wise. There will be blog posts where I will be also writing about topics and news developments as they occur. And there's also going to be, you know, products that are going to be advertised there as well. Products that I like, supplements I think that work really well, hunting equipment, camping equipment, possibly some media equipment, books, that type of deal. I'm just going to make it a space where I have complete control over it, and I could give out content that we all enjoy. I mean, I enjoy what I make. I'm sure everyone that watches this enjoys it as well. So there's also going to be an email list. So in the coming days and weeks, I'm going to start a drive to get people that do like this channel and do like what I say and want to continue seeing what's going on. I'm going to have you guys sign up on an email list. So whenever I publish a new episode or whenever I need to do something to get something out there that typically isn't shown to you because I'm shadow banned, you'll be able to get that content and that information out. One of the reasons that I haven't been doing this so much is because I've been shadow banned on most platforms. X is the only platform I haven't been shadow banned, but even then I have to advertise to get numbers. So I have to throw $50 an episode, $100 an episode just to get it moving. And it's really unfortunate. I know I don't suck. I know I'm good because I've had people say, hey, why don't you have thousands of subscribers and followers? Your shit is awesome and it's funny and it's informative. And I say, I don't know. I'm just doing my best. And really, I do it for the love of the game at this point. I make no money off of this. I do have a PayPal tip jar. So, you know, that's linked in the video description. If you'd be so kind as to donate $1. Instead of spending $50 to boost on X, it would be $49. Like, it goes a long way. So that's really what I'm doing now with the show, is I'm going to create my own platform. Really, I was inspired. I know this is going to sound fucking insane, but I'm really inspired by Alex Jones's chutzpah. I mean, he's got his own website, Infowars.com, and it's everything, you know, all his stuff's there. No one's going to take his website down because he owns his website. He owns the domain. He probably owns the hosting company at this point. If not, he hires someone that's sympathetic to him. So, you know, it's not having the website is like the last piece of, it's like renting versus owning. If you have a presence on social media, you're renting that web space. If you have a website domain, you own that piece of real estate. So I'm going back to our roots, the podcast roots of ownership and truth telling. And I'm going to, yes, post on social just so people see it, and maybe we get some more viewers, but really I'm going to be focusing on drawing people to the website and really creating content that the listeners, you guys, want to hear instead of whatever the fuck I'm just rambling on about. I think everyone can relate to at least the social media cleanse because there's a lot of fatigue. A lot of people are fatigued. Everyone I talk to either wants to get a flip phone, or they have gone on a social media cleanse, or just have deleted their social media, and, you know, they can sympathize with the negative effects of being on the internet all day. And there's some people, you know, I say my issue is 6 hours a day. Some people have 10, 12, 14 hours, like every waking moment, there's consumption. And I think that's really concerning. First, from a philosophical point of view, that your life is being literally controlled on a day-to-day basis and you are voluntarily allowing it. Whenever you open up the phone, the algorithm is choosing what it wants to show you. You're not searching things out. It's just being thrown at you. And one of the issues that I have, you know, when I'm talking to my clients is, you know, you can't really, you got to like find a way to come out of the loop. You got to get people out of the loop and bring them to your shit. It has to be that good. And people, you know, a lot of companies have a hard time with that because, you know, it's hard to just get people out of that zombie-like trance. And I was tired of feeling like a zombie. And it's scary and concerning because you get people that their whole life is just consuming, and then they miss out what's around. You know, they miss out the people that they're right next to. And I know it sounds so cliche, but, you know, it's really true. I mean, I still live at home with my parents, and it's like, just like not even a full 2 days on this cleanse. And it's like, I'm just less isolated, I guess. Like, I'm just more willing to talk and be around instead of just like scrolling and missing what's happening in my own home. I mean, and I think that, you know, there's people, they live their whole lives like that. You know, when I'm out, obviously, like, I'm not really on my phone when I'm out because I'm aware of my surroundings. That's something I was always ingrained in my head from my family, and then from my own personal life experiences, like just head on a swivel when you're in public. But even so, it's just, there's people that even when they're out, they're just like no social awareness. It's just like on the phone. I'll go out to a bar and the bartenders will be on their phone. People will be on their phone. And it's like, you're supposed to be talking to people. Even when I'm at the gym, like I'm guilty of this, where it's like, you know, I'm tired from a really rough set. And I'll just sit there and scroll on my phone for like 10 or 15 minutes. And it's just like, you're not present. Like, you're just knocking yourself out. You're killing your workout that way. And you're also shutting yourself off from other people. Like, it's okay if you want to play music or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I lift heavy ass weight when I deadlift. I deadlift 355, and I'm like 155. So it's a lot. Like, I need that music sometimes. But, if it's to the point where it's like you're scrolling on your phone and no one can get your attention, and, you're just missing out on like all these people that you could be talking to, or at least just like observing what's going on around you, because it's still a public place and it's important for a safety aspect too. So a lot of people, we've just in a way, a lot of the loneliness problem, especially the male loneliness problem, it's all caused by just being on the phone too much. Like, just go out and talk to people. It's really that simple. That's one of the things philosophically that scares me, is we've become a connected yet isolated society, and it's by our own doing. We took the fear of surveillance and control and mind control that was prevalent in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and we voluntarily opted to adopt a device that does everything, including mind controls you, isolates you, and spies on you. And we just did it because it was voluntary, not because it was government mandated. And I think that that's really a shame. So from now on, I really want to raise awareness to that. And I do, I work with social media company-wise. Like for my company, I own a marketing agency. Social is a big product that I advocate for and sell. But I can also acknowledge its addictive nature. It's a tool like anything else. Like there's people that say AI is bad, and then there's people that say AI is good. Me, I say AI is a tool. AI helps me get podcast reels out quicker. All the reels you're seeing right now on Instagram from this show are generated from Opus AI. And I can create 30, 40, 50 Instagram reels in 20 minutes. And I just download them and send them out and schedule them. And it's nothing. It ain't nothing. But that, if I was editing this, it would be to create 5 reels, it would take an hour to 2 hours. So it's like in 20 minutes, I can get a month's worth of content programming done in like less than an hour. Like less than an hour, it's created, scheduled, distributed. And it's just done. And that's I usually don't edit these. Like if there's like fucked up things that happen in the reels, like I don't care. I just dump it. Like I don't care. I don't have time to pick it all out. Especially if I'm getting shadow banned. Like I'm just not gonna, do that. Even today, like normally I have my Rode microphone in front of me. Today I'm using the lavalier mic and it's connected to my camera because my Adobe Audition wasn't loading today. And I usually record from a Focusrite audio board into my Adobe Audition, and my Audition just wasn't working today. So I'm like, fuck it. I don't have time. I'm hungry. I'm just going to throw this on and start talking. It's just, I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest with you. I'm just frustrated. But podcasts. Oh yeah, because I was shadow banned. So it's like, and that's another thing too, why, I'm really pissed off about social media, is because of these shadow bans and, this attitude of mind control through algorithms. Like, people's attitudes are being influenced by this algorithm that's programmed to keep you in the app. I work with these apps all day, every day, and I decided to not get high on my own supply anymore. So that's why I just said, you know what, I'm going to go on my computer on a designated time to just, basically, I'm only accessing social media on my computer. Now, for my clients, I have a scheduling software that I have their Instagram and Facebook accounts linked up to, and I could post to those accounts from my scheduling software. So it's like I don't even need to go on their account to begin with. So the justification for having social media on my phone is almost non-existent. That's the first reason I got rid of it. Second reason is the internet needs to be a place again. In the early 1990s and 2000s, when the internet first came out, when it was Web 1.0, people had the computer room. The internet was a place. You went into the computer room, you turned on your computer, and you accessed your chat rooms and your email, right? Now, in the modern era, in the era of Web 2.0, the internet is an all-encompassing experience that follows you until you go to bed. I don't like that. The internet, I'm making the internet a place again in my home. And if I want to go on Instagram, or I want to go on Facebook, or I want to go on X, I'm going to sit down at my computer when I have free time, if I feel like it, and I'm going to go on Instagram and whatever and answer my DMs and scroll through reels, or I'll go on Facebook and, you know, just share some fucking reels or whatever, or just go on X and look at the news, you know, and that's it. And that's it. I don't want to. And then when I'm done, I leave. And the internet, I say, bye, internet, and I go outside. I'm fully committed to making this phone a dumb phone. Like, this is literally the only apps I have downloaded on here is the Gmail, Messenger, YouTube, LinkedIn, because I actually use LinkedIn when I'm out and about for work. And then I have, you know, my health apps where I log my calories, my financial apps for the institutions I bank with, and then just some stuff for work. Like, I have a bunch of editing software. I got Canva on here. I got Rush Premiere. I got QuickBooks. I got, you know, some AI tools, and that's it. I use it for, you know, it's optimized just for work and communicating with my friends and family. So, you know, I am done with social on my phone. I'm done with the internet being this all-encompassing thing. I want the internet to be a place, and it needs to be a place. And don't get me wrong, I think social media is great. It has potential. It's gotten my clients and myself a lot of business when used appropriately. So I think people really need to, and people always say, you know, when's the best time to post? Best time to post is whenever. By and large, even though people are exhausted with social, people are on social at all points of the day. Even if there's someone that's doing what I'm doing, you know, I was on for like 10 minutes before this. I was just on my personal Instagram account, just seeing if anyone messaged me or whatever, or just to get a quick, you know, laugh in a meme or whatever. And, you know, and then I went back off. So I could, you know, in that 10 minutes at 2 o'clock or whatever this was recorded, you know, I could see an advertisement, and I did. I saw an advertisement for Vanish holsters. So the best time to post is whenever you want to post. There's no mythical best or worst time. There's just time to post and not time to post. So, you know, and people are also addicted too. So at the other end, for the 99% of society, everyone's on their phone all day, all day, all day. They're on the phone at work. They're on the phone at school. They're on the phone when they're taking a shit, a piss. They're on the phone when they're, you know, having sex with their girlfriend. They're on the phone when they're, you know, losing the house at the casino. They're on the phone. So the best time to post is whenever. I'm just choosing to not get high off my own supply. So because of that reality though, social media, it doesn't matter when you post. And if you're using it for business purposes or for commentary purposes like this, social media is great. If you want to, you know, listen to podcasts or see what new podcasts are out there, you want to see what new products are out there, or you just want to see what your friends are doing, social media is great. Social media is not great when we use it as a means to distract, when we use it as a means to fight boredom all day, every day. Social media is not great when we use it as a primary form of forming relationships. Social media is not great when we use it to mask experiences. So if you're out to eat alone at a restaurant, don't pull your phone out to watch YouTube. If you're eating dinner with your family, don't pull out your phone to look at Instagram baddies. If you're, you know, waiting for your subway, don't go on X to complain about, you know, the Epstein files, which you have every right to complain about. But, you know, look at your surroundings. You're in a subway terminal. You can get killed, for fuck's sake. You can bitch about Epstein on the subway. It's a little different. But, you know, just be present in these experiences for your own safety and for just your life, your quality of life. I mean, you know, you're around people, right? Those people could die one day. Well, they probably will die one day. So you should just enjoy their presence a little bit more. That's why, you know, social media can be bad in the sense that it distracts. Like even for school children in New York, Governor Kathy Hochul banned cell phones. I think there's an exception for flip phones. I'm not too sure. but she banned cell phones for all public schools in the state of New York. So you, as a child, you cannot bring your cell phone into the school. You have to leave it at home or surrender it upon entering the building, and you get it back after school. You can't even use it on your free periods. You can't use it in your study hall. You can't use it in your lunchroom. You can't use it in your after school clubs. It doesn't matter. You can't use your cell phone. It's forbidden. So I don't know how schools are going to enforce that, but now it's a state law. And it's because children are on their phones all day, every day in their classes, and nothing is happening. They're not learning. They're not socializing, nothing. It's also making children more irritated. It's, I think, a cause of more bullying and more fights. If you think of it like this, like when I was in school, I'd get bullied. And this is when social media first came out and when Xbox Live was still kind of a thing. I come home and open up my phone, or I'd open up the game and it's like, you're a faggot, you're a short fuck, blah, 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 blah. So it's like all the shit that like happened from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., the hours where bullying normally occurs in a school, right? Now extends from 2:01 p.m. to whenever I go to bed or whenever I stop playing the game or I turn the phone off, right? So this would go on, like I stayed up late in high school. I stayed up till 11, 12 o'clock at night, getting called a faggot every single, like that whole day. Like the whole day from I got maybe a 5 or 6 hour reprieve when I went to bed. So it increases the availability of bullying and harassment exponentially. So I personally, I think it's a great thing. I know it sucks. Like if I was a kid, I'd feel like annoyed because well, what if there's an emergency and I need to text my parent? But if there's an exception for flip phones and dumb phones, that's fine. Then get a flip phone or a dumb phone. I mean, if I have kids in the future, they're getting a flip phone. Like they're not getting a smartphone. If they want anything else, they can go work for it. And I think that's just how it should be. I know it'll suck, but you shouldn't be on your phone in school. And I think that's a great first step to combat bullying, to increase socialization and community cohesiveness, because that's another reason we have this other end of the mental health crisis, is because everyone's online and fucking agitated. That's the first problem. The second problem is we don't have a community. So no one just says, let me put this down and go talk to Jim over there. There is no Jim. Jim is just as weird about talking to people as you are. So there's no cohesion. And we're teaching children that that's acceptable. And I think this is I don't like Governor Kathy Hochul at all. I think she's a nasty bitch. But this is the one thing that I actually agree with her on. So she's a little less of a bitch for this. So good job, Kathy. That's the only time you'll hear me say it. Other than that, you're a nasty cunt. So yeah, no wonder I get shadow banned. But overall, in conclusion, cleansing, getting rid of social media on your phone is a great first step. It doesn't mean you have to delete your apps. Not your apps. It doesn't mean you have to delete your accounts, but deleting your apps and just accessing them on a computer, that's like the best way, I believe, to like have the best of both worlds. Like you're not cutting yourself off, but you're just limiting the amount of times during the day you're seeing things. Like you don't need to know about every single breaking news event. You don't need to know about every single meme that's coming out. You don't need to know about that at all points of the day. We used to have the 6 o'clock nightly news, the morning newspaper, and the midday radio show. There's no need. You don't need to see what's going on with Iran while you're taking a piss at your job at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Or you don't need to, check your phone for live updates from your favorite streamer to see, what's going on in whatever the fuck. You don't need that. There's just no need for it because it's inconsequential to what's happening, i.e. driving your fucking car to make sure you don't hit someone, or making sure you don't piss all over the toilet and it just goes in the toilet. There's just too much of a focus on everything else that people have and not a focus on like what's going on right in front of me. Like I need to focus on me and what's happening right now in front of me. All the other stuff can wait. And I really do believe that that's what is wrong with our society today, because we're so focused on everything else, but not what's directly in front of us. And that's what I've just realized in the last like a day and a half of doing this. It's just insane. And, you know, I grew up like that, where it was like, you know, what I'm complaining about now, what we need to do and what's wrong with society, like that's how I was raised. Like, focus on what's in front of you, fuck everything else. You know, when you have time, worry about other things. You know, take care of your shit first. And the society that I'm now in is the complete opposite. I do feel like I'm in an opposite position a lot of the time. But in any event, this has been, speaking of distractions, I'm getting phone calls off the hook. Anyway, speaking of distractions, this is episode 311 of Backpacking America. Thank you for listening to this episode. Again, I'm going to keep you guys updated about the new website that's coming out, when all the content's getting moved there, and then the availability of an email list. Please, please, please sign up to the email list. It's going to be so important to keep in touch, because I am shadow banned on a lot of platforms. So if you like hearing what I have to say and you love the guests that I do bring on when I have them on, it's really important that you sign up for the email blast. In fact, even more important than clicking the bell on YouTube, please sign up for that email blast when that alert comes out. And if you can, please donate to the tip jar. It does help offset the cost. I am going to have to pay for the website, the web domain, the website builder, the web domain, and all these other bells and whistles that come with it. So if you could help alleviate some of the costs so I can keep this going. I've been doing this for 6 years. I haven't asked for a dime. I'm now asking for a dime. So, you know, for the last 6 years, please keep that in mind. I haven't really made any money. I just want to offset some of the costs. So thank you again for listening to episode 311 of Backpacking America. And until next time.